And welcome to a new episode of Father Mahoney's House of Horrors live. So we are doing Freddy versus Jason is now. So Freddy versus Jason was a movie that was in the making for a while. They did Jason Goes to Hell, and then the Freddy glove comes up, and they were building up to Freddy versus Jason. Instead, we got Jason X, and then we end up getting Freddy versus Jason. So Freddy versus Jason. Uh, it's still growing on me. Let's just say that. I I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. Sometimes I find so many flaws in it. The first biggest flaw is not getting Kane Hodder. Uh, Kane Hodder had at that point had established himself as Jason. The movements, the way he approached things. You got used to it. Um, and this Jason is like enormous. So. I think the consistency right there. No, not that Friday the 13th's ever been really consistent, but they could have got somebody closer to his size. I'm glad they got Robert Englund to reprise Freddy, so that saves Freddy's part. So this is basically a movie of kids on Elm Street who basically have forgotten uh, how the things that had happened in the past, where the town has tried to erase Freddy's name, Freddy's existence, by the kids who encountered are all hospitalized now. With the new experimental drug that basically keeps your dreams nice. And yeah, so Freddy finds himself in a precarious position to try to get people to remember who he is. So he recruits. He's a dream, so he can recruit people. He recruits Jason to come out of basically not retirement, but to come to Elm Street and remind people that there are things still going on, and so he's hoping that people will start remembering who he is. So every time if Jason kills somebody, more fear goes back into the town, and Freddy gets stronger each time. So basically, using Jason as a puppet. So in a way, Jason is kind of like the one that you feel sorry for, because even though Jason would do this normally, he's forced to, he's forced out of retirement to do Freddy's bidding. And the cast of characters are they're likable for the most part. You have a few that you don't mind that gets offed. Has one of the great memorable kills, the bed guy that he folds up and kills the victim, you know his face and his feet end up meeting to each other. And yes, spoilers, because this movie's old, so you should already have watched this by now. I think everybody's waiting for a mesh up after Alien versus Predator. So we get Freddy versus Jason, and people talk about what if Freddy and Michael, or Jason and Michael. I've even heard people say, hey, let's throw Chucky in there too, but the doll's going to get his ass kicked, sorry. So yeah, there's some great moments. Jason walking out of the cornfield is one of my favorites. A flaming Jason at that. The stoner character is great. There's a couple stoner ones, but the one that kind of resembles Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, he's great. Ronnie Yu, I think was not the right pick for a director. Ronnie Yu tried to make it like one of his films, and you could see the difference between Nightmare on Elm Street movie, Friday the 13th movie, and then what you get with Freddy vs. Jason. It sounds like I have more negatives, but it's a fun movie. I wouldn't say it was perfectly done. No, I don't think any movie is perfectly done. But so out of a 5-star, I give this, and I'm gonna say strong 2.5, because I think some of the story doesn't mesh together. Well, anyways, the fight scene's great. The ending scene when you have a fair fight, because at one point it's Jason trying to fight Freddy in Freddy's dream. So yeah, Freddy's gonna win that every single time. But when you get the reality, like the Dream Warriors, they well, actually I should say Nancy. When Nancy pulled out Freddy from his dream, he's mortal now. And so when you get that mortal Freddy versus the mortal Jason, that's when the fun begins. And everybody disputes who wins. And I'm gonna tell you who I think won, but let me know who you think won. I think Jason won. Yes, I know Freddy winked at the end. Yes, so a lot of people say it was a tie or blah, blah, blah. But a head Freddy versus Jason in a mortal world, Freddy loses. So, Jason for the win. My thoughts. What is your thoughts on this movie? Tell me what you think. And soon I'll be having the final Friday the 13th one, the remake coming. And let me know which of the big four. And I call it big four, so screw anyone who doesn't agree. Jason, Freddy, Michael, or Leatherface. Which one do you want me to do next after Jason? Do you want Michael? Do you want Leatherface? Do you want Freddy? Let me know your thoughts. And actually, if you pick any one of those, I've already done the first one on my Father Mahoney podcast, so I'll start with part 2s of any of those that you want me to do. Okay? Much love, peace, and don't be afraid.